All right, let's get back to it.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. This government cannot endure permanently. Half slave.
Turn the sound effects down a little bit. A little loud.
I rise, Mr. President, for the purpose
We're going to be playing the Union today.
A house divided against itself
Let's see.
cannot stand. This government cannot endure permanently. Half slave and half free.
We'll go with our standard build.
I rise, Mr. President, for the purpose of announcing to the Senate that I have satisfactory evidence that the state of Mississippi, by a solemn ordinance of her people in convention assembled, has declared.
And as many of you know, the game has changed significantly since the last time I played. The campaign is now dynamic. You have manpower pool, but so does the AI. So the primary difference is that inflicting casualties on the AI in each scenario essentially translates through to future scenarios. So there's significant benefit to attacking in certain situations. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess ATIS's command group will absorb those hits. It's unfortunate. And it looks like Hexamer's going to retreat north. And for some unknown reason, he's charging. Not quite sure why his troops are able to shoot and mine or not. Hexamer's in trouble, but Schaefer's taking a lot of hits. Cavalry might be able to catch him. We'll see. Zook's taking fire from up the hill. Zetius is a spotter. They have another 300-man skirmisher unit. No, 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 no. Not gonna happen. Notice the cavalry, despite the fact that they've been told to attack that unit, and unfortunately, hopefully the cavalry will recover in a moment. We're going to combine all of my troops into a single brigade here. And I'm looking for the other skirmisher units. If one's fallen back here, I might be able to isolate it and kill it, although my forces are now kind of weak. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're there. This may not work. Looks like we managed to push Burns back a little bit. Yep, there goes McHenry. The reason I'm stopping them from shooting is I want them to get into cover before they start exchanging fire with these skirmishers. And they're going to push the skirmishers back in any case. McHenry's counterattacking. I'm going to hit these skirmishers from the flank and try to push them back. Things go well here, the artillery should get a chance to fire before they retreat. Maybe not. Notice how fast they recovered. So they were routed. So I can't discount those guys. I can't move forward and actually work on the objective. I think I'm going to send Schaefer over here. He's almost combat ineffective. Notice the cavalry refusing to attack. Focusing my artillery on laws now. He's falling back, so we'll bring Stockton around the flank. We're letting Wagner recover some. In fact, I might fall him back a little bit. See if I can get him out of sight. the artillery up, get a little bit closer range. The reason I'm not moving forward is I've got time. I've got 2 hours and 58 minutes, and I want to hurt these units more and push them back further before I push Wagner across. Wagner's not in great shape, so when we push, we're going to have to push, and the first push has to succeed, basically. So the fact that we can rout these guys out of these cruddy fortifications here, and they're not defending in the town, means I can do damage to them and continue doing damage to them. Without taking much damage in return, and that weakens them and will eventually force them to, it'll eventually make my ability to cross the river possible. Looks like Law is pulling out in that direction, which means now's the time. So we're going. My goal is to get Wagner across here and into the buildings. If you're into the buildings, you can handle it. But he's got to be in cover, or he'll get savaged. And he's in cover. Cavalry taking a hit. If Stockton can hold here, I can fire into the rear of these guys and push them back. McHenry's in a poor position here. He can't he's got the cavalry to his rear and the skirmishers to his front. Should be able to hurt him pretty badly. Yep, there he goes. I'll have the cavalry continue to harass him. And somehow Davies is still fighting. There he goes. Look how fast these guys are moving. If we're lucky, we might be able to destroy Hexamer. Perfect. I'm going to try to ride Burns down. He's down to 110 men. Yep, got him. So I'm not in great shape, but I did manage to capture Phillipi. I don't want to get Wagner into a squeeze here. I'll have the supply wagon run away. Crap. Artillery's gonna have to run away. Alright, town defense. Yeah, my guys are down to 500 men. The skirmishers are going to have to defend the west end of town. Which, to be honest, isn't going to be fantastic. I'm essentially going to barely have 1,500 men defending the eastern side of town here. It's really going to be down on the 6-pounders to provide enough defensive firepower to hold that position. Shift woods to defend the left, assuming you can ever get there. I'm having these guys run it. They arrive exhausted, but that's better than that means they get in the battle as opposed to not. So I'll take that. He'll come soon enough. And they're charging. Reinforcements are still a long way away. This is not going to go well. Oh, they just fired at the wrong unit. They did eat a bunch of canister, though. Scales is now involved in the melee. I'm trying desperately to prevent Ragnar from exposing himself. Notice the charge by the skirmishers. My guys are not shooting. They're not shooting. They need to shoot. They desperately need to shoot. Because they need the morale. See, what's happening is they're not able to fire, so their morale is collapsing. Because part of morale is doing damage. Yep, they just folded. And oh, then they recovered, barely. Putting Bristow into the fortifications to try to preserve them and put some fire on those units. Oh, he's got to focus on that. Bristow routed. Schaefer routed, flanked, destroyed. Trying to drive Wheeler off so I can shift reinforcements. Scales is going to be destroyed. If I can get Wagner recovering and firing at Perrin, we might actually come out of this alive. I'm using the skirmisher trick to keep my units from pursuing in melee, but it's not working. No, I can't control these units. Milroy won't hold. Wagner's not killing Perrin for whatever reason. Where are you going? Stop moving! Charge. I can't help it. He's sliding out of the battle, refusing to fight. Those guys have 2 guns left. Wagner's... And notice how Wagner is now rear flanked. Despite being in the middle of a huge fight. I'm gonna fall him back. Try to recover his position. Those guys are running. He's still flanked. Milroy taking off. They still haven't fixed retreat direction. Look at where Milroy is. He decided to retreat into the middle of an open field. That's awesome. Wagner is still flanked despite... Perrin is still here despite taking over 200 casualties. If we can get Wagner recovered, we'll make this. Wow. Perrin's coming back. Just need Wagner to recover to about 50% morale. Barstow's gonna die. Bristow. Notice the repeated charges with the skirmishers. Wagner's holding. He's gonna fold again, though. And Wagner's running back across the bridge, which is just frustrating because no military unit would have done that. Like, why? There's no reason for you to retreat there. Again, charging the skirmishers, trying to draw my guys out. How is he rear flanked? What? Are you kidding me? Huh? Wagner rapidly losing morale from taking fire from multiple locations. Bruce is in a bad position here, but we might be able to take Grant in the flank and push him out. Yep. Wagner's still barely holding on. Yeah, we better finish now while we're winning. Oh man, almost 2-to-1 casualties. Considering I was outnumbered 2-to-1, I guess that more or less makes sense. I lost too many guns. My artillery batteries. I might actually be missing an artillery battery when I move in. I think that one of the ones I'm supposed to get it was destroyed. Not that that's a huge deal. Stockton did pretty well for himself, considering before he was dissolved, he got 544 kills. Zook did pretty well too. Scales and Woods. I think Scales and Woods was Woods still alive? I don't think Woods was still alive at the end. I think Woods was destroyed. Overall, not bad. Their best was Perrin with 270 kills. Notice that they didn't. While they didn't get a lot of kills on a lot of their units, they still managed to almost push me out just through sheer numbers. I don't know who Quinn is. He didn't. He was killed. Probably not one of the units. I recovered 3 6-pounders and a 10-pounder. Yay. Bunch of Sharpses and some Springfields. So that's it. Phillipi, Legendary Union. I have no idea what round this is. I may restart the round counter. All right.